Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we're going to talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. And if you want to call and ask questions, you can call in 323-870-3857. And tonight, we're going to talk about Canelo versus Caleb Plant is apparently pretty close to being signed, guys. So we'll tell you all about it and when it's going to take place and all that other good stuff. And the WBO finally does the right thing. But first, we're going to get started with Joe Joyce versus Carlos Takam. So let's talk about this for a second now. This fight I expected ESPN to pick up this fight. I didn't really think DAZN was going to pick it up. I didn't know, but I expected somebody to pick it up. 100%. Nobody picked it up. Fight TV picked it up, and you could buy it for like a pay-per-view. Beeb, did you buy this fight?
Sort of, kind of.
Hey, you messed up, man. What you mean, sort of, kind of?
They allowed you to share with somebody, which I did. So I got friends in high places where I didn't have to really pay for it. So
what you mean you allowed to share? You didn't share with me? That's messed up, man. You're a cold fish. You know that? You know what? If I had it, let me tell you what. If I'd have had it, you know what? I would have shared it with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what? Next time it happens to me, you know what? I'm gonna share it with Robbie now. That's what you get. You're supposed to hold it down. That's what happens.
Don't share anything with that little weasel.
Oh, stop it. What's the matter with you? He's on the line. What's the matter with you? All right. Joe Joyce beats Carlos Takam via TKO in the 6th round. This is a competitive fight, man. I love Carlos Takam. Every time, I don't know what it is, man. Every time I see Joe Joyce, he looks so beatable. He gets hit, he's slow, but he always finds a way to win. Best I've seen Joe Joyce look was in that Daniel Dubois fight. He looked incredible in that fight. I mean, he used his jab, he boxed, he looked great in that fight. And then he comes back in this fight, and he looks like the same Joe Joyce I was betting against in the Daniel Dubois fight, man. Joyce was hit multiple times with big right hands, man. It was almost like Carlos Takam. He could just throw that right hand out there and tag Joe Joyce at will, man. But, hey, man, they both had a chin, man. Joyce was the busier fighter, and I had him winning the rounds. But, the thing I like about Joe Joyce when he punches is that he does kind of the opposite of what you think you should do. He doesn't throw the punches with bad intentions. He's not going for a home run every shot. He's looking to touch you. He's looking to touch you with his hands. And then, ultimately he's going to hit you. He's going to adjust speed and he's going to hit you hard. But he's not looking for a home run ball on every shot. You know what I mean? And he's the busier fighter. He's sharp. He is accurate. He connects. He throws to connect. In the 6th round is where it all ended, man. Joe Joyce caught Takam with a left hand, staggered him, and from that point on, he landed multiple shots. Now, the ref stepped in and stopped the fight, okay? I thought it was kind of premature at first. A lot of people protested the stoppage. Carlos Takam's team is going to protest. I don't know if they protest. I think it's protested, but they've asked for a rematch since then. They're not going to get it. Listen, I mean, I guess you could say it was a little bit early, but I watched that fight again. I watched that a couple of times, that ending sequence right there. Carlos Takam did not throw a punch. Joe Joyce landed I counted the punches that he threw, not the punches that he landed, but the punches that he threw right before that fight was stopped. 30 unanswered shots, most of which were landing. Okay, not all. And were they all home run balls? No. But 30 unanswered shots. Should it have continued? It's a tough call, but I had Joyce clearly winning that fight. Was it early stoppage? The guy took 30 unanswered shots, man. 30 unanswered, he threw 30 unanswered punches. So I mean, I have a hard time, if they say, well, hey, it shouldn't have been stopped or it was stopped early.
But here's the problem.
Maybe.
Here's the problem with the people criticizing it. That last right hand, if you watch it, it stiffened him up and he went like limp.
Yes.
And he fell into the ropes.
Yes.
And he was he was out. Like he couldn't defend himself at that point. He looked paralyzed after that shot. So
yeah, I mean, I get where people are coming from when they say, hey, it was an early stoppage. I get it. I hear you. But should it have been stopped? I didn't have that much of after watching it a few times, I didn't have that much of a problem with the stoppage, put it that way. So what was your assessment of Joe Joyce in this?
Well, like you said, he's got that clubbing type style of punching. He reminds me of Foreman a little bit in the way that he doesn't have a lot of fast twitch explosiveness to his shots.
That's a good comparison.
But he's got these lunch boxes for hands. So even when you watch him punch and throw that jab, that unorthodox way he throws it, it's almost like a hammer fisted jab, the way he throws it downward. You could see how it's really stunning these guys. And you could see how Takam was, his face was kind of getting busted up by just him touching him like that, right? And, for a tall guy with long arms, he really knows how to throw a short uppercut up close and a short hook up close, right? But the thing is, his hand positioning is his hands are up so far out in front of his face, and they're not there to cover the sides of his face. So he's got his hands like right in front of his face, and it's easy for a guy to loop the shot around the guard because he doesn't keep his hands home, right? They're so far out in front. Right. And Takam was throwing those shots, those looping shots over the top, right? And because he was reaching up and kind of lunging with him, he really didn't get the full leverage on him that I'm sure he wanted to. They were scoring blows, no doubt. I had him up in this fight. I had Joyce winning the first round, and I had Takam winning the next 4, right?
Wow, so you had Takam up?
Oh, okay. How could you not?
I had Joyce up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right. That's how I'm doing it now.
I don't know.
He's my new guy now. He's my new guy. I got to do it now.
You guys talk or something on the phone?
That's right. That's how we're doing it.
Going on that I don't know about. But anyways, you could see that Joe Joyce was walking through these shots, right? Mm-hmm. They weren't having a ton of effect on him. But you could see every time Joe Joyce touched Takam, he stunned him. He froze him, right? But Joe Joyce kept moving forward. As the fight went on, though, I want to say around the 3rd round, Takam was starting to go to the body, and you could see Joe Joyce backing up a bit, but it still wasn't enough to stop his momentum, right? And I was watching him, and I was saying I was doing a live cast with Ness and Amil Carr yesterday on the Boxing Boys. And I was saying, I think Joe Joyce is timing him for that uppercut. He wants to shoot that short uppercut on the inside. He wants to come back with the short hook. He's waiting for Takam to come in, and he just wants to catch him, right?
Right.
So he threw the uppercut, really grazed him, didn't really land it. But then he started, you could see, landing that short hook. And that short hook in that 6th round was the beginning of the end. So I think he saw the opening, and he was just waiting to capitalize on the opening. And yes, Ring General, that's correct. Takam was starting to fade a little bit because he was throwing a lot of punches. Guy's 40 years old. But he
looked very tired. Yeah, he looked very tired in the corner. He was
getting tired. So you could, I think Joe Joyce was saying to himself, I'm going to catch this guy as he's trying to lunge in with those looping shots. I'm going to come up the middle on him, and then I'm going to shorten up a hook around the guard, and I'm going to get him. And he got him with that hook. So it looked as though he was setting him up for that short hook all night, and he knew it was going to be there, and he just waited and bided his time. And when the opportunity presented itself, he capitalized on it. And that, like I said, was the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Yeah. So after the fight, he calls out, Anthony Joshua, the winner of Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. At first, I thought that fight would probably not happen, but given the fact that you don't know what's going to happen with Fury and Wilder and that whole mess over there, I think that he could be next on deck. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? You think he could be next?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I can't say for sure because this heavyweight division is in shambles right now, right? It's everyone's kind of in limbo, right? So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Dillian White. We don't know what's going to happen to a lot of these guys. But yeah, that he may have like maybe another tune-up or another mid-level guy like a Takam, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he fought a guy like Chisora, right? Derek Chisora, stay busy fight, something like that.
That's a good fight. That's a really good fight.
And wait for the winner of Joshua Usyk, right?
Yeah,
that's what I kind of I wouldn't be against seeing something like that play out, right?
No, I think he's kind of I think at this point he's kind of earned a shot. I mean, he has, like I said, with the division in limbo like it is, everybody wants that big fight, that big unification fight. But you got two guys on the other side that, you don't know when they're going to fight. You don't know what's going on with that. I mean, we know when they're scheduled to fight, but, we've known that. We've known they were scheduled to fight before, and that's fall through. And with Tyson Fury, man, I love him and everything, man. He's a really good fighter. You love watching him fight, but you just don't know with that guy. You don't know which Fury you're going to get. You really don't. So
yeah, too erratic.
Yeah, he really is. He's way too erratic. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. The other fight we had was on Showbox. It was Calvin Henderson versus Isaiah Steen. Isaiah Steen wins a unanimous decision over Henderson by the scores of 96-94, 97-93 twice. Beeb, was this fight fairly close, or was this just a work? They described this as a workman-like win for Isaiah Steen. Where do you see Isaiah Steen going after this win? Is he the real deal?
He needs a little bit of work. I think he's got to work on, his defense a tad bit, right? He's got very quick hands. He's good. He's got good footwork, good balance, got a quick jab. But I think he needs another opponent, maybe a tad bit better than Henderson, but I don't think he's ready to be rushed into anything big just yet. I think he needs to learn to kind of relax a little bit. He seemed a little over anxious sometimes. He was kind of a little bit too aggressive. He needs to learn to put his shots together a little bit better. He needs to improve upon his punch selection, because he was doing a lot of repetitious things in there, and his trainer was saying, hey, you know what, that left hook is there, you just got to throw it, you got shorten it up, you're opening it up too wide, so little nuances he can work on to refine himself, just tighten things up a little bit. But in terms of like speed, balance, got a great jab, quick hands, quick feet. I do like that after he throws combinations, he doesn't stand there. He steps off to the side or pivots out. So I like the way he fights. He's a very good boxer, but he just needs a little bit of refinement, if you will. He needs to be a little bit better with his punch selection, because a lot of times, he was throwing shots like wide shots, where if he could have been a lot more precise, could have been a lot more efficient if he shortened up some of those shots in the mid range. And when you get a clean shot off, right, go to the body. Don't be so predictable. Don't headhunt when you're up close. Throw a right hand, take the left hook downstairs, right? So I think he was doing great with his jab and his right hand, but he needed to improve a little bit up close on the inside with the body work, and shorten up that hook a little bit on the inside. I don't think he needs to open it up that wide up close. So just a little few things, but tons. But there's potential is there. I think he'll be a solid fighter.
Okay. All right. And you attended a boxing, was it Boston Boxing this week?
Yeah.
And tell us about Shayna Fabiano, who was on that card and won her fight. Go ahead and
Yeah. I know Shayna Fabiano's parents. Her mom reached out to me about a year ago and told me that, hey, I got, my daughter's boxing now. Would like you to, spread the word or whatever. I know you do a podcast. I said, well, you want me to have her on? She's like, oh yeah, sure. That'd be great. So, I got her number, had her on. So I after that interview I had where I talked to her and kind of brought back memories of the old days of Everett and her trainer, Joe Lake, I remember was a staple in that gym in Somerville I used to train and work out at. He had Dana Rosenblatt there. He even spent some time training Mickey Ward. Richie LeMontagne was another guy from Everett, Massachusetts that graduated with me, Richie the Mountain LeMontagne. And so I kind of have taken a liking to her, and I told her that I'm going to follow her career. So Joe gave me a ticket, and I went to the fight up in New Hampshire. And normally I like staying home watching the fights. But the one thing is when you're in those small arenas, you feel like you're on top, not even a small arena. It's like basically a ballroom, right? When you're in a ballroom or a small club, it's to me, it's just so much better than being in a big arena or a stadium because you're right on top of the ring. Everyone's kind of like close together, and you could see the crowd, like you can see the fighters come out and they're walking down and you can touch them. You're so close to everything, and the fighters come out after the fight, the fighters come out to the crowd. They talk to you, give you, dap you up, whatever, give you a hug, whatever. It's just a feeling of warmth. It's kind of like a family environment, because everyone's local, everybody. So it was a good event. Shayna was coming off of a year layoff, and I was surprised that she just jumped on this lady. I think her name was Frida something. I can't remember her last name, but she was from Texas. She came down, and she just jumped on this girl, knocked her out in like 34 seconds. And I was surprised.
Oh, wow.
I was surprised because she was coming off a long layoff. And usually when a fighter's coming off a long layoff, you'll think they'd be a little bit more poised, let the fight develop a little bit, a couple fail out rounds, but she just jumped right on her. And she almost, she kind of like grazed her as she was going down, like she hit her when she was down almost. And I told her, I was like, after the fight, when I said, you scared me there. I thought you were flirting with disqualification there. I said, but that was all that frustration of you not being able to fight for all that time. And she says, yeah, that's what it was. But this is a young lady who doesn't really have to box. She's got a great life. She's set. She's set. She doesn't have to box at all. But this is somebody who does it because they love to do it, right?
Yeah.
And my hat goes off to her because I see the work she puts in. I know she's dedicated. I know she's focused. Joe Lake is a great trainer. He's not only a great trainer, he's a good human being, and he's a good matchmaker. And he really knows how to develop and move fighters and allow them to progress and learn and develop. So I think she made a great move linking up with Joe. And I'll be pulling for her. I'll be supporting her as much as I can because she's from my hometown of Everett. So I want to see someone from Everett make it.
There you go. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, let's go to the phones here. Ringside Robert's on the line here. Let's bring him in. 530, you're live.
Weasel.
Hello, guys. How are you
matter
this evening?
you? Hey, Robert, how are you?
Robert, did you know something?
Oh, we're good. Right.
I want to tell you something. If you have the Showtime app, you could archive the Showbox cards without even DVRing them. Because I actually forgot. You set me up. You waited till I was at the fight, and then you text me and tell me that the Showbox was on Friday.
Now, how did he know?
I didn't realize that you were. I didn't realize you were going. Hey, I didn't realize you were going to
call me at around 3:00 my time, which is noon your time. You know the drill. You're lucky that you're lucky.
Well,
I have
Robert,
the Showtime. You're lucky I have the Showtime app. You have one job.
He
and that's
does
to
have a
remind
point,
me.
Robert.
You have one job, and that's to remind me of what time the fight's on.
Well, he does have a point, Robert. I hate to agree with him. But,
hey, that's why I asked you about what time the Zone and ESPN Plus cards are on.
That's my job to tell you about the Zone card.
Did he ever get back to you, Robert?
Yeah.
He did?
Yes, he does. He's very good.
Get back to him. I always get
wow,
back to
so
him.
are you admitting?
You think I'm like you? What do you think I'm like you? You blow him off?
Stop.
You haven't talked to the kid in a month. That's why
I
he calls
talked to him
into
last week.
That's why he calls into the show, just so you can say
I
hi
talked
to
to
you.
him last week.
Last time you talked to him, I think it was 3 Christmases ago.
I talk to him every week.
Get out of here. Come on.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no.
Robert, are you admitting on my airwaves that you
I
made a mistake and that you blew off the beeb?
No, I would never blow off the beeb. I wish I would have known, however, he was going to fight, or because I would have contacted if I would have known he was. But I want to talk about both DAZN and ESPN Plus. I'm disappointed that neither one of these outlets decided to pick up the Joyce Carlos Takam fight, because I was looking forward to seeing that. Since we didn't have Fury Wilder this weekend, I was looking forward to a nice, decent heavyweight fight this weekend. And when you texted me Saturday morning and said it's going to be on pay-per-view Fight TV, I'm like, well, that sucks,
It really does. And I'll tell you what, I was really disappointed too. I couldn't believe that ESPN Plus did not pick this up.
Well, I would think more DAZN, because they specialize in British boxing. Why didn't DAZN pick this up?
Well, because it's Frank Warren. It's not Eddie Hearn, so it's BT Sport, Robert. So ESPN Plus works with Frank Warren and BT Sport. So ESPN Plus should have picked it up. To be honest,
they should have, right? I mean, they really should have.
You're 100% correct, You're 100% correct, Robbie. It was kind of because it was. Well, it doesn't matter when you say it. Don't matter. So I agree with you, man. I was a little disappointed that we had to watch this fight on BT Sport.
Did you pay for this, Robert?
Yeah. No, I did not. Now I got to tell you, for the next 3 weeks, I'm looking forward to having DAZN and watching all these British fights coming up with Conor Benn this weekend. And I'm disappointed that Adrian Granados is a very good fighter, but why is he fighting at 147? He should be at 140.
Well, he's been fighting at 147 for a while now. I agree. 140 is his weight, but he's been fighting at 147 for a bit now.
Yeah, he kind of goes back and forth, but I think he fights at 147 for the money. 140,
you're 100% right. 140 is his weight, but for the money, he's going to go to 147.
Yeah. Do you think because he's at 147, Ben will walk right through him, or will that be a competitive fight?
I think Ben is going to be too much for him. I really do. I think Ben is going to be a little bit too strong for him.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it anyway, because I like Conor Benn.
Yeah, I think that, he's going to be too strong for him. Now, whether he finishes him or not, I think that's a different story. Granados is a very, very tough fighter, man. So it's going to be tough to get him out of there. And he's always busy. He always throws a lot of punches, but that could be tailor-made for a guy like Ben. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I like Conor Benn.
Now, do you guys think he'll end up having the career that his dad had, or will he do better?
No, I don't think he's quite the fighter that Nigel was. No.
Okay. But no, I'm looking forward to that this weekend. At least with DAZN, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but at least with DAZN, whenever they say they're going to have a card on, it's going to be there.
Well, yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Do
you think so speaking about Conor Benn, do you think that didn't he get started late? Didn't he get started fighting late?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
And
I think he did, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, wasn't he 16 or something when he started? He was a late bloomer, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think he'll be as good as his father. I think and listen, man, I could be wrong, but I believe he's got a ceiling. You can't start, it's hard to start boxing that late in your life and go pro and go to the very top. You know what I mean? It's going to be tough.
Now, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Adrian Granados the most accomplished fighter so far he's been in the ring with?
I believe so. I really believe so. I think that in Granados is going to put up a fight. It just depends, he's got a couple of things working against him, man. He's been in the game for a while. He's got, and not only that, he's again, it's not his weight. If this fight took place at 140, right, it would be a completely different thing. And I really like Adrian Granados. I really do. But the fact that it's at 147, it's not really his weight. He's going to have a hard time. Ben is a big, strong kid. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, no, I would agree. But you know one thing about Adrian, every time he steps in the ring, no matter who it's against, he gives it all he's got.
He does. He leaves it all in there. And so, and the other thing is, where's this? This is in England, isn't it? In England, Beeb?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe so. Yes.
It's so it's going to be tough to win a decision over there against Ben. So he's got a lot of things stacked against him, I think. I'm rooting for him, but whether he does it or not, it's going to be a tall order, man.
Right. Well, at least we'll have a good card to watch on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it. So
there you go. All right, Robert, we're going to get running. We're going to move on here to 716.
Okay, see you.
All right, man. 716, you're live. Then again, maybe you're not. 716 going once.
What is that?
I don't know. It's 716.
Is he underwater?
I guess he was waiting on a bridge or something. I don't know. 805. 805, you're live.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's happening, man?
Wake up, Nacho.
Oh, stop it.
Nothing much.
What's the matter?
Hey, Nach.
Beeb.
How you doing?
What's up with
Nach?
Beeb? What's up with Beeb and you, man?
So you can be.
Wow, Nacho just called you
so
out,
salty,
son.
Eric. We just need to do this rematch.
We're going to have to. All right, so let's talk about this then. Let's talk about this. Beeb, are you willing to do a rematch with Nacho? Because he pasted you last time.
I'm willing to accept the challenge, but Nacho is no challenge.
Oh, stop it. What's the matter with you?
He is no challenge.
From Boston.
How can I be no challenge, Beeb, if I beat you?
He smashed you, Beeb.
Well, that was a very controversial decision. We're still.
I don't know. It was controversial because we could have put in like the 10-1 rule in there, man.
We still got the legal team looking in
that
on
thing
it.
way early.
We still have the legal team looking over it, and
it was bad.
Eric
let's set this up. I'll tell you what. All right, I'll tell you what. All right, let's set it up for next week. You guys want to set it up for next week?
Yeah, and then we could do some online chess after. We could do a lot. We could do a lot of things.
Do some online chess.
Kill him.
What the hell? Who are you, Bobby Fischer, Beeb? What the hell? Online chess?
Take it easy now. Take it easy.
All right. So next week, the challenge is now set. Next week, Beeb and Nacho 2, the rematch. Now, Nacho's already beat him once. Beeb, what do you have to say? Nacho already beat you once. How are you training for this rematch?
Well, I grabbed a couple of encyclopedias.
Sure.
Went to the library, got my hands on all the boxing books I could. Went and digging in the crates, pulled out all my KO magazines and my Ring magazines. So I'm really studying hard. I'm going to be.
I think it's great that you're reading again. I really do. That's awesome. Nacho, now you finished the Beeb early last time. It was kind of a walkover, to be honest with you. How do you get up for a second encounter with the Beeb here?
Well, he's adding fuel to my fire, Eric, by constantly calling me out and saying that he was robbed. So he's just giving me more motivation to go in there and put it on him once again.
Truth be known in the chat said Davey Boy Essex would smash you both. And I'm assuming he's talking about chess. Let me tell you what, I played Davey Boy Essex in chess, and he's no joke, man. That guy can play.
Oh, he's
that guy can play. Let me tell you what, on my best day and on his worst day, there's no way I can beat him. And I've played for a while now, man. And he is good.
Yeah, you need to stick to games like Candyland. You're not good.
That's not my game. Yeah, I can't. Candyland's like my speed, man. I tell you that. I'm telling you what, man. Davey Boy can play, man. That guy is the truth, man. Nacho, what'd you think of Joe Joyce?
He did what he had to do, beating a guy like Takam, but I was still a little concerned from the standpoint of he doesn't tend to start very fast. He seems like a guy who it takes like 3, sometimes 4 rounds to kind of really get going. But like I think I don't know if it was you or Beeb said, the one thing that he's getting better at is just kind of learning how to touch guys as the fight goes on, and then eventually he starts to really bring the shots, the power shots. And then the one thing that I was kind of wondering if he was going to implement at some point was he going to hit Takam to the body? And eventually he finally started doing that as the fight went on. And I think that's what changed the tide of the fight, because prior to him hitting Takam to the body, Takam was starting to land like some pretty, multiple right hands to his head on several occasions. And I thought that was kind of a bad look for Joyce, that he wouldn't put his hands up to try to block those right hands that were coming from. It looked like they were almost like windmill punches, and Takam was still figuring out a way to land them. And that was just a bad look for Joyce. But, he invested in the body as the fight went on. And then in the 6th round, when he landed that short hook and staggered Takam backwards and basically just, threw everything but the kitchen sink at him to try to get him out of there. I found it a little funny that people were saying that it was kind of a quick stoppage, because to me, Takam at no point during that flurry did he ever throw anything back that made you think like, okay, he's still aware of what's going on. He knows where he's at. He's trying to, fight his way out of this situation. He just stood there and basically moved and ducked his head and tried to, just kind of avoid the onslaught, but he wasn't really able to. He still got hit on multiple occasions during that flurry and didn't throw anything back. So I don't blame the refs at all for stepping in. I just found it kind of interesting, though, that people were just trashing the referee for stepping in. It's like, well, do you want the guy to be saved, or do you want the guy to get laid out? Like, sometimes people, I think, are too quick to throw guys under the bus. Some people say, oh, you shouldn't have let the fight go on. And then there's other times where people are like, oh, it was a premature stoppage. So sometimes as a referee, you can't win in that situation, because certain guys will complain about, oh, it was too fast. And other guys will say like, oh, it took you forever. And the guy took a horrible beating. So, it is what it is. But, Joyce, I give him credit. He did enough to win. I'm just not sure that I would put him in against the winner of Joshua or Usyk just yet. I still think another one, at least 2 more fights against some guys with, some legitimate championship experience to just kind of see, what more like kinks can be worked out of Joyce before you like really throw him in there against Joshua or whoever it is that, has the title when he does finally come up. Because, I mean, he's only fought 13 pro fights, and I still think he still needs some work. So to just kind of throw him in there already after 13 pro fights,
I'll tell you,
this is just me.
Yeah, but you know what though? He's got 13 pro fights, but it's not like he's, you can stretch him out to 20 or 30, like 30 fights or anything like that before he gets a shot. He's not a young guy. And listen, the Joe Joyce you're seeing is a Joe Joyce you're going to get 5-10 fights from now. You know what I mean? None of that's going to matter. He is who he is. The defense, everything like that.
Yeah.
This is who the guy is. You're never going to turn him into Pernell Whitaker or anything like that. And I say, you know what? If he wants Joshua or Usyk next, and if he wants to take Derek Chisora while he's waiting, I think that's the way to go.
Robert just texted me and said, what do you think of Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker? I think that's a good fight too.
I think that's a good fight. Yeah, I think that's a good fight. I mean, everybody who follows me knows that I've been a Joe Joyce backer from the beginning. I've always loved this guy. I had him beating Daniel Dubois. I had him beating I had him winning last night, of course. And I'm just a huge fan of Joe Joyce. Always. What do you mean, huh? What are you talking about?
No.
JC, thank you so much.
No, you're right.
Thank you so much, JC.
You're right. I think at this point, you're not really going to be able to add a whole lot more to him. So yeah, like you said, if there's another fight in between him and getting a title shot, I mean, it's not a bad idea. But yeah, at this point, you know, it's not like he's gonna add a whole lot more wrinkles to his game. He's pretty much a finished product at this point, good or bad.
That's it.
You know, so
there you go.
Yeah. And just real quick, Robbie was talking about the Granados Ben fight.
Yes.
I think Granados will put up a little bit of a fight. Yeah. But I agree with you guys. He's in the wrong weight class, and I think he was picked for a reason. I think this is more of a showcase fight for Conor Ben, and I expect him to, you know, take out Granados probably sometime within 7-8 rounds. I think Granados will put up a good fight, but in the end, Ben will just be a bigger, stronger, faster guy at 47 than Granados is. So
there you go.
You know. All right, guys.
All right, Nacho, you put on notice by the Beeb. He said next week you better be here. Said next week it's going down.
I'm ready.
Wow, Nacho said he ain't even studying, Beeb. He said he ain't even studying.
He's a fraud.
Do you think you could beat Beeb in Boston boxing history?
Boston.
I mean, you know, it is kind of fair because last time, what did we do last time? We did like Mexican stuff. We did, I think we did Julio Cesar Chavez.
Where is Richie the Mountain LaMontagne from, Nacho? What hometown?
Everett. It's from Everett.
Fuck Everett. You're not supposed to answer the questions. He's supposed to answer them.
God, I forgot.
This is why you cheated. See, he cheated last time.
Sorry, man.
You were feeding him the questions last time via text. You. I don't even want to say it live.
Yeah, don't say it live. Wait till we're off air to say that.
That's how steamed I am right now.
Feeding the questions via text. Come on, Beeb. Really?
Give me the answers via text.
Conspiracy theories
I saw his eyes lighten up. I saw that little twinkle in his eye when you were getting the answers right.
The twinkle in my eye.
That's all right.
All right, Nacho, man. We'll catch you next week for the rematch.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Yeah. All right.
718, you're live.
Hey, how you doing? Fellas?
Suleiman.
Giving you that call. This is Oscar. Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for putting me on. Yeah, fine, man. Yes, I'm just like Eric. I'm a big time fan for this guy, Joyce. I like his style. He's like you said, like he got a speed thing, but remember he's very big. Okay, he got a amateur career, and remember he's working also for. He had a damaged eye as an amateur. You see, he has a lot of scar tissue, so he's protecting the eye. He's taking it slow. He's working off. He's also like an Ohio fighter. He fights for. He's fighting from a defense. He gets caught, but that right hand was fast, but it wasn't hurting him at all. You couldn't notice he wasn't hurt. He was taking a shot, and he was letting the guy wear himself out because of his age. So once the guy started tiring out, like you could see by the 5th or 6th round, he was tiring out. That's when he started putting more power on him and using more concussive shots on him, and he wasn't phased at all. He could take power pretty good. He's real durable, and he's not like fast, but he's got busy, heavy hands. His hands are busy and heavy, so he has an advantage over these guys. He has a great amateur career, and to tell the truth, bro, I think he should fight Trevor Bryan or Dillian White next. He shouldn't fight a guy like Chisora. Everybody's basically taking advantage of Chisora. They're bullying him because he's a beatable opponent and he's still credible, but he's way above he's way above in caliber. He shouldn't be stepping down. He has a bunch of regional belts, plus he has a European champion, he's a British champion, and the Commonwealth champion, and he's got a couple of other belts. So what he should do now is add another one to the collection. I think it should be a WBA or try to get a rematch with the ball and get that interim, and then start pushing for. He's number 1 ranked WBO already, so he should start pushing for more money in his fights, bigger purses, because of his age. He's 13-0, but he has an extensive amateur career, and he's 35 years old. So he should start pushing for bigger purses and better fights, like a Parker, like Dillian White. The heavyweight division is wide open with mad talented fighters. So Parker's there, Dillian White is there. He's crying for an opponent. Trevor Bryan got that regular belt, and nobody's trying to fight him. You got this guy Tony Yoka. He's very beatable. If he knocks the Tony Yoka or that Chinese guy all the way, the Chinese dude that's a southpaw that almost got knocked out in his last fight. So he got a lot of opponents that he could just have Frank Warman network and have his manager network and try to get this fight for him so he could start, making some real money because age is coming up. You know what I'm saying? He got an extensive amateur career. He paid his dues in amateur ranks, and he paid his dues in the heavyweight division. He's been matched hard, bro. I don't want to hear this crap that he's been matched off. Look, he fought Ustinov. He beat Ustinov, knocked him out, right? He knocked out this guy, Wallace, when Wallace only had like one L on his resume. He knocked out Bermane Stiverne, in a better fashion than some other guys. He even got caught with a right hand by Bermane Stiverne and he still knocked him out. Look, Bermane Stiverne just fought Triller for a championship of the world. So then he goes up and beats the boys that everybody was, except me and Eric, everybody was saying, oh, he's going to get knocked out and all this thing because the guy was like a TNT fighter. That guy was dynamite. Yep. And he took all his punishment and then beat him, right?
Tell him.
And then now he fought this guy. Yeah, hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. You're flowing. You're flowing.
He beat him too and knocked him out. I think right now he beat him better than Anthony Joshua. You want to do a barometer fight like Ness talks and like Habib talks all the time? The barometer fight right now between him and Joshua. Joshua got a more spontaneous speed, and we know he's a mid-range fighter. He's really strong. But Joyce did pretty good in this fight, man. Joyce did pretty good. He wore the guy out. He took his power. It was an exciting fight while it lasted, and he knocked the guy out, man. He hit him like 31 punches. He wasn't tired at all. He looked like he could fight another opponent at the same time. So I'm a big fan of this guy. I think he's gonna do things. He also got the little kid up here because the Juggernaut, he even came in a Juggernaut outfit. He wasn't complaining about the outfit being too heavy or anything like that. So I want to see this guy fight an opponent and, start getting paid some real good money, man. I mean, money should be paid to, credit should be given to when it's due to an opponent, a guy, and he shouldn't be fighting these second-tier fighters anymore. Okay?
There it is.
Hello?
We got you.
Man. So, man, and Conor Ben, my boy Conor Ben, man. I like that guy Conor Ben, man. I want to see him knock this guy out, and then I want to see him get matched. He's another one. They should give him good opponents. He's already crying for big opponents. They should put Broner right now. Broner ain't doing nothing. He's sitting on the black sofa.
Oh, man, Broner, let's not even talk about that. Broner will kill Ben, man. Are you kidding me? Broner's from Titletown, son.
Man. Conor Ben is nice, man.
Well, Adrian Broner's not? I mean, come on, man.
Eric,
that's not even a fight. We can't put him in there against a guy like killer like Broner, man. No way.
So that fight is hot, bro. That fight is gonna be hot, bro. That guy from Ohio, put your boy from Ohio against Conor Ben. I want to see that, man. Those two dudes they're gonna sell a lot of fights. And then after that, put him for a world championship, man. Put him with Dave Avenison. He knocked out Josh Kelly. What's he doing now? I want to see guys like that fighting, man. I want to see a guy like that. Like Conor Ben wants to be busy. He's asking for more. So give credit when it's due, man. The guy's winning. He want to fight the best, man. Put him in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at Terence Crawford. He's running out of opponents, man. Put him against Terence Crawford, man. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter has too many times already. He lost a couple of fights. Put an undefeated guy against Terence Crawford. I want to see that, man. I want to see Conor Ben against Terence Crawford. Wow. You guys have a great day, man. Hey, man, you got a great show, man. I'm enjoying this show all the time, man.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you, Suleiman.
Everybody in the chat, let's get the likes up.
Yeah, what's going on in the chat here? I mean, I'm not asking you to work in a coal mine. I'm not asking you to dig ditches. I'm just asking you to hit the like button. That's it. That's it.
All it takes
how easy is it?
Little flick of the wrist. That's all.
Yeah, I can see how that could be real cumbersome. Yeah, just hit the like button. Come on.
Like button. Come on. Share the video. Hit the like button.
Share the love.
Support the channel. Please.
Come on. Nacho said that Bronner's in rehab. When's he getting out? Oh, stop it. Those are just vicious rumors.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. Being in Titletown, I don't like it. Tell you what, we don't like it here in Titletown.
Please.
Dale from Chi-Town, thank you so much. He said, salute, let's go, Granados. Hey, man, I'll tell you what, I am pulling for Granados this weekend. I hope he does it. I really hope he does it. Before we go back to the phones, Beeb, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The upcoming fights. What do we got? We got nothing. We got nothing coming up, man. We really don't.
Well, this is the thing. Now,
the dog days of summer, son.
We're less than 4 weeks away from Pacquiao Spence. So let's
Yes. Let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the positive.
Let's be excited about that, right?
That's right. Next week, July 31st, Conor Benn versus Adrian Granados, 12 rounds welterweights. Zhu Khan versus Lee Wood, 12 rounds for Khan's WBA regular featherweight title. Tommy McCarthy on the undercard versus Chris Billum-Smith, 12 rounds for McCarthy's European cruiserweight title. There you go. Anthony Fowler, Avni Yildirim also on the undercard there. They're not fighting each other. They're just on the undercard. Your boy, Beeb, Campbell Hatton on that undercard. Ricky's little son on that undercard.
I like him.
I like him too. I like him a lot. There you go. And that's the fights next week. And then, so on August 3rd, that's a Tuesday, Beeb. Okay. On Fight TV, and we'll talk about this next week, but I just wanted to point this out. On Fight TV and Triller TV, Michael Hunter versus Mike Wilson for the WBA heavyweight eliminator. Chris Algieri, your boy, is on that undercard against Mikkel Lepierre. 10 rounds welterweights. That's a pay-per-view.
Friend of the show, Christina Cruz, Olympic hopeful, is passing up on her Olympic dream, and she's turning pro on that card. So make sure you guys check out that card, Christina Cruz. She may not be on. Well, if it's pay-per-view, she may be on there, right?
I don't know. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they only allot time, but I would assume. But who knows anymore?
Yeah. So shout out to Christina Cruz.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's not a bad card, Eric. To be honest with you, it's an okay card. It's a Triller card.
No, it's not.
It's decent.
No, it's not. Not for pay for a fight.
How much is it going to be, though?
Pay-per-view, who cares how much it's going to be? Paying for it's too much.
Come on, Eric, please.
No, I'm not watching that nonsense, man. Come on, stop it. Stop paying for that. Give me a break.
Come on, Eric.
News and rumors this week. Beeb, it's official. Joshua versus Usyk is official. The fight will take place at Tottenham Stadium on September 25th in the stadium, the soccer stadium. That stadium's pretty big. And they're going to have a lot of people there, man. Joshua and Usyk. I like this fight, man, but I don't like and listen, man, Usyk's a really, really solid boxer. He's very skilled. Everybody knows that. He's the best cruiserweight in the world. You can make an argument they might have been the best cruiserweight ever if he'd stayed there for a little while longer. But Anthony Joshua, he's a pretty good boxer as well. And I think Usyk's a better boxer. I think Anthony Joshua is a step below him as far as skill-wise goes. But as far as power and size and everything like that, that's going to make the difference. I think Joshua wins that fight. I think he wins it pretty convincingly, too.
Like I said, and I've been saying, I think the guys that give Joshua trouble are the guys that are inside fighters, guys that have quick hands on the inside, guys who throw a lot of volume. I don't think Usyk is that guy. So, people talk about Usyk being the better boxer. The styles are different. I think Joshua offensively is an incredible boxer. He's not the greatest boxer in the world defensively, right? He's a little bit vulnerable defensively. You may make an argument that Usyk may be a tad bit better defensively, but he's been getting hit. I mean, Chisora was able to touch him, right?
Chisora, he had a hard time. He had a hard time against Chisora.
Life and death with Chisora, right?
He really did. Until Chisora tired out, he had a hard time with him.
Yeah, so I think Joshua is going to stop Usyk in 7. That's my pick, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I think it ends in a stoppage. I really do. D-Style Boxing said, "I'd love to see Tim Zhu on the show. I would love to see him on the show too." We're actually going to try to make that happen. We're gonna pull some strings and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Let's see here. We got a special announcement next week, and we'll make it during your game with your rematch with Nacho. We'll talk about that next week. Big, some exciting stuff going on here. Mike Coppinger came out this week and said that Triller lost $5 million on the Teofimo fight. He said that Triller lost $5 million on the Teofimo Cambosos fight due to marketing, travel expenses, etc., which is why they wanted to move the fight to Australia. Teofimo says, "I ain't going." I mean, that's pretty firm. Bob Arum, I've read that Bob Arum has a contingency plan that he said he can put the fight. I guess he can stage the fight if they don't want to go to Australia or whatever, and if they will. Beeb, is this fight going to come off? Are they going straight to? Is he just going to relinquish that belt and go straight to Lomachenko?
I think the fight will happen. I think the fight will happen, and I would not be surprised if they find a way to get out of that Triller situation, and Bob does take the fight and put it where he wants to put it, right? So all that whole hoopla was for nothing with Teofimo Lopez, because he ended up re-signing with Top Rank, and he may not even be on pay-per-view, and he may not get that big $4 million payday that he said that he was even expecting to get. And this is what I said before, and
all
again,
he had to do was get the shot. That's all he had. It's his own fault.
This is what I said before, and I'll say it again. I like Teofimo Lopez a lot, but I just think mentally he gets a little bit fired up, and he makes rash decisions. I think that he gets a little too emotional, takes things very personal, and he needs to learn that this is a business, right? And everybody that's involved in this business is going to look out for their best interests first, right? And obviously,
Sure.
if your best interests coincide with theirs, then that's going to be great. But if they don't, then you could have some issues. So Bob made a business decision that he thought was best for his company, which he's supposed to do, right? And you made a decision that you thought was best for yourself, but obviously it really wasn't best, best.
I disagree completely. I think it was best for him. I think it was a good move for him. I think that he's the one that screwed it up. Nobody else screwed this up for him. He screwed himself on this deal. But nobody screwed. He cannot blame anyone else.
But here's the problem. Triller was unreliable also because they pushed the date back even before he had COVID. So they were playing around with the date.
Yes.
They were very indecisive on how they were going to put this card together. First, he was going to be the main event. Then we're going to put him on the undercard.
Tyson, they wanted him under, Yeah.
So again, why not stick with the people that got you there? Why not stick with the people who have the experience? Not, ride that horse, stick with that horse that you rode in on, right? Triller is another Rock Nation. Okay.
I think they are.
They're another Rock Nation. They don't have the experience and the wherewithal to make it in this business. At least that's what I've seen so far. A lot of people have had issues with them. Mike Tyson had issues with them. Roy Jones had issues with them. Now Teofimo Lopez is having issues with them. I don't think that they do good business. It doesn't seem to be that they do good business because a lot of people have issues with them, right? So I don't think it was a good move going with these guys because they're unreliable, right? They make promises that they can't keep. It seems because it can't be a coincidence that everybody is complaining about them. All these fighters are complaining about him. Roy Jones says he didn't get paid yet. Mike Tyson said he'll never fight on that platform again. Teofimo Lopez, and the hits just keep coming, right? So we'll see.
Yeah. I still stand firm. I think he screwed himself. He doesn't get sick. That fight comes off and he gets his $4 million.
Well, we still don't know because they still probably would have found a way to push the date back because they already did even without the COVID.
Maybe
they already rescheduled the fight a couple times, even without the COVID. So now they're trying to use him as the scapegoat and blame him. They made a mistake. Maybe they have buyer's remorse.
Could be.
Maybe they bit off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
Now, I would agree with you. If they didn't already postpone the fight, I think 1 or 2 times before he got COVID.
Could be.
I would agree with you there. But since they already postponed it and they kept, showing indecisiveness about it, saying, "Oh, we're gonna put him on this card, or we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that." They never really had a solid plan for this event.
They didn't. I will give you that. They did not, for sure.
So I'm not going to give them a free pass here. I'm not.
I don't think anybody gets a free pass. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
But again, Teofimo, people saying, "Oh, well, you could still get the COVID with the again," but your chances are lessened significantly. Okay, it's
if you did everything you could to protect yourself.
It's right.
I don't want to hear it. Then it just happened.
You and I, we got the vaccine. Most people that I know that got the vaccine, they're fine, right? Yeah. So
we developed the switch now after the vaccine. So
why not give yourself every layer of protection that you can? Why leave it up to chance?
There it is. Boxer Girl says Kevin's waiting on hold. Huh. All right. We'll get to him. We'll get to him soon. She likes the Chicago people. She's from Chicago. Chicago's in the chat tonight. Beeb in the chat. They're lighting it up. Chi-Town. Is it Chi-Town or Chi-Town? What is it?
Chi-Town. Come on, buddy.
Chi-Town? I thought it was Chi-Town.
No, it's not Chi. Come on, Chi-Town?
That's what I thought.
I think this is Chi-Town. It's Chi-Town.
From Boston.
That's right,
All
baby.
right. The big news. According to ESPN, Canelo, according to your boy, sources, Canelo and Plant is close to being signed and will take place on September 18th. This will be a PBC Fox pay-per-view. The winner, of course, will be the undisputed champion. Beeb, are you surprised that this is going to be on pay-per-view? What happened to that Canelo DAZN thing where nobody's going to have to buy him $5 a month or $20 or whatever you're paying for DAZN? That's all. And then you're going to see Canelo. You're no longer going to have to pay for him for $80. That went out the window. Son.
The rumor is it's going to be on Fox. I'm not 100% sure on that.
On Fox TV?
No, Fox
pay-per-view.
No, the rumor is it's going to be on Fox pay-per-view. A couple people have said that, but I'm not 100% sure that that's the case. But I have heard that the fight is pretty close to being done. The way it looks, maybe it is going to be on pay-per-view. I don't know. I'm not until they announce that it's going to be on pay-per-view. I'm gonna, lay back a little bit before I comment on it. All right. But I do like the fight. I don't think any of those fights that were on the table for Canelo, whether it would have been Beterbiev or Bivol, I thought those two fights, as well as this Caleb Plant fight, all three of them were good fights. I didn't think there was a bad fight that could be made unless they enforced another crazy mandatory on them. But other than that, like I said, and I will say that obviously this fight with Plant has more significance because of the unification, but those other fights I think are more competitive and they're more compelling to me. The ones with Bivol and Beterbiev. I think those are tougher fights, and the odds would be a lot closer in those two fights.
Yeah, Notorious VC said a lot of people on this show said Canelo Plant would not happen or happen next, including Eric and Brian. I don't think I said that. Do you, Beeb?
You said, but Brian,
I don't believe I said that.
Brian said it wouldn't happen. You said it would.
Yeah, I said it would. Right.
And I said it wouldn't happen, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be wrong. What do you think? You think I would have been happy?
I think he likes this.
Right. I like it.
You think he likes this? You think he likes that? No, he hates it. He hates being right. All right, let's talk about this one because there's a lot of we're going to go back to the phones here in just a few minutes, but we're going to stop here for a minute here. WBO orders Crawford and Porter. The big news this week is that the WBO ordered the fight between Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. I think this is a great move by the WBO. I love it. I think it's awesome. If it was actually going to happen, I think it would be great if Porter actually wanted this fight. I don't think he wants this fight. I don't think this fight comes off. I think that Porter wants to go ahead and fight a powerhouse like a washed-up Keith Thurman, which further goes to show you he's not one of ours. He's not from Titletown, Beeb. He's a transplant now. He wants to be from Nevada. He doesn't want to be hard in the streets like we are in Ohio. He wants to do his own thing.
Why are people saying Porter doesn't want this fight? What indication is he giving you that he doesn't want this fight?
He could have had it last. I mean, weren't they negotiating earlier in the summer, and it fell through. Now the WBO orders it. So hey, listen, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if he wants it or not. My best guess, is that he pulls out. That's my best guess.
I'm just trying to figure out where else would he go.
He's going to fight Thurman. He wants to fight Thurman next. Him and Thurman jawing at each other. They're both PBC guys. They can make that fight fairly easy.
Yeah, I'm not too enthused about that, to be perfectly honest.
Nobody is. Nobody wants to see that fight again.
I don't want to see that one.
No. Adari Pettit says Francis Ngannou in boxing would be awesome. I don't think you know what, man? It's a different animal. It really is. When you're fighting in the MMA versus fighting in boxing, it's a completely different animal, different sport. Different sport. I don't know how good he would fare. I really don't know how good he would fare in boxing. My guess is probably not very well. So yeah, KT says that Heyman would like to freeze Crawford out and will advise his client not to take the fight. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Sean Porter's scared to fight Terrence Crawford. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he's going to be advised to not take that fight. That's what I think is going to happen. If I have to play, listen, and I've got no proof. Just going on my gut instinct and what I've seen happen in the past, everything like that, I don't think that fight comes off.
PBC does have a history of churning those across the street fights down. We do have to acknowledge and address that, right?
Absolutely, man. That's the thing, man. And as great as the WBO, like I said, man, it was a great thing that the WBO did that. It's great that they want that fight. It's great that they're going to mandatory purse bid in 1 month, 60-40. I don't think it happens, man.
Do you think these guys believe they could actually beat Crawford, or do you think that?
Yeah, I do. For sure. Okay. For sure, 100%. I mean, I think anybody who steps in the ring with Terrence Crawford believes they can beat Terrence Crawford.
Okay,
they're all pro fighters and they're all at that level, man. They're all, they listen, because if they don't believe it, they shouldn't be there. I mean, that's brass tacks, man. I mean, if you don't believe you can beat somebody, then you probably shouldn't even be there.
That's true, huh?
Fighting at that level, man. No way. Reese Mack said, "Why would they turn it down?" Reese Mack, it's real simple because you're keeping money in your own pocket. You're not splitting it with somebody else.
That's true. That's another in-house fight, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Thurman Thurman and Porter would be an in-house fight, or Thurman or Porter and some other schlep they got over there, in-house fight, and he'll make what do you think he's going to make? He's probably going to make just as much. No, he'll make something around there.
They're saying that Bob is only willing to offer him $2 million for the fight with Crawford, but Ring IQ made a great point. Why don't PBC pay Porter and then just let Aaron pay Crawford? So if he wants more money, why can't he get it from PBC?
Yeah, they could joint promote it. You know what I mean?
They could joint promote it, but why does Bob have to put up the offer?
Yeah,
PBC pays Porter and let Bob pay Crawford. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly. And last but not least, before we go back to the phones here, De La Hoya versus Belfort will be a sanctioned fight now. It'll be for real. The fight will take place, Beeb, at 180 pounds. Each fighter will have a 5-pound leeway. All right, so they can come in at 185. The fight will also be 8 2-minute rounds. I guess my question is, how can we sanction this fight as a real fight that counts on your record if it's only 8 2-minute rounds? There's really no, there's a 5-pound weight limit in it, and that happens. I mean, that goes in. Why not make them 3-minute rounds? I don't understand this.
Yeah,
I hate De La Hoya. I can't stand De La Hoya anymore.
I've never seen a male sanctioned professional bout.
He's such a beta. With
2-minute rounds.
Right?
Never seen that. Never seen that. That's a first for me.
T Styles said it's a chick fight. It is. Is he wrong? He's not wrong.
That's your line too.
It's a chick fight. It is. It's a chick fight, son.
He's taking your
say
line.
it. He said it's my line. He said, "Say it. It's a chick fight." It is. It's a chick fight, right? Am I wrong about this, Beeb? Come on, say it, Beeb. Say it.
Well, I was just at.
Say it. You was just at a chick fight.
I was just at a female boxing match. And,
what did you call it? You called it the other day. You called it a cat fight the other day. You said, I'm going to a cat fight the other day. You said this.
Never.
Come on, man.
Never. Do not.
Hey, JC, we're going to try to get her on here, man. Ebony Bridges. My son wants to have her on. My son saw her picture, and Antonio, little Antonio, was like,
Eric,
hey, "You think you can get her on the show?"
I'm gonna give you a strategy. We're gonna talk about this after the show. How to get her on? I got a great strategy.
Yeah, comb my hair. You know what I'm saying? Send her my picture. What do you want to do? What was the strategy to get her on?
No, I got a good strategy. Watch this.
Yeah,
this is you just gave me a great idea.
Oh yeah, that's right. You talking about sending her my info? I got you.
Slow it down,
man. I'm with you, baby. I'm with you. Hey, me and you, we're right here. We're seeing eye to eye, son.
Please, Eric.
Oh, stop it. All right. 773. Who is this? Is this Kevin from Chicago?
This is Kevin. Get ready.
Holy shit. He put me on hold for 30 minutes. If you ramble, rambling.
I told him to go to you, but he just didn't want to, man.
I know. I wanted to go to you. B was like, don't put him on. You know what I mean?
No courtesy whatsoever.
It's crazy.
Kevin, you know, if it was me controlling that switchboard, you would have been on like maybe an hour ago.
Oh,
you would have been on an hour ago.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all what. Alexander, that win over Joe Joyce is looking good. Aging like fine wine, huh?
That's right.
Absolutely, it's a big dude. He went in there and pieced them up. So for people saying that Joshua's gonna be too much, he's just too big and robotic for the little man, you're in for a rude awakening.
So you think
right now?
You think Usyk's gonna beat him?
Usyk's gonna wear him down. He's gonna definitely outbox him.
Is he gonna beat him?
Just the fact of the matter is, are those linemen gonna rob him? That's the real question.
You think? Okay. Who are you picking? Who are you picking? Who are you picking? Let's not hedge. Who are you taking? You're from Chi-Town, man. Pick a side.
I think Usyk's gonna. Let me think. I just told you.
All that shit.
Told you what I think.
I know he talked all that, and they can't pick a side.
Now you want to buckle under?
No, I was. Someone was calling me. I'm saying right now. Usyk's
calling you. Calling you, son.
You know, with the judging over in England. They're gonna rob him. You're not gonna jeopardize that Joshua versus Fury fight or Joshua versus Wilder.
I don't know,
Joshua's
man.
Too big of a draw. Too big of a star.
Come on, Kevin.
Come on.
Mean, everybody knows how crooked boxing is. They're not going to let Joshua lose that fight. If you think Usyk thinks he's going to go out there and just kind of coast and outbox like he did, what's his name? Who did he beat in his last fight? Chisora. If he thinks he's going to go there and do that, they're not going to allow that. They'll find any way in the world to give Joshua the decision.
So you're taking Joshua?
That's my only problem. Am I wrong?
No, I said, you're taking Joshua to win?
I got Usyk winning. He's going to overcome the crooked judges.
Wow.
But why did you give yourself an alibi if he doesn't get the decision?
Like cover his bet, son.
You're already giving yourself an alibi if he doesn't get the decision. You're just going to say the judges screwed him.
Son, Joshua's murking that dude. You want a pie bet on that one? Joshua's murking him, son.
He ain't gonna bet you.
Listen,
he ain't gonna bet. You don't want to bet. You don't want to bet. You don't want none of this, man.
He'll never come
he ain't want none of this, man.
He'll
It's
never
all
come
good,
on.
man.
He'll never
Don't
come
worry
on.
about it, Kevin. I'll let you slide on this one, man.
People really think Joshua's this big bad boogeyman. He's world class. He's such a beast.
Give me a better resume. Give me a guy in the heavyweight division with a better resume. Give me a guy with a better resume than him.
I'm gonna tell Kevin when I tell. I'm gonna tell Kevin.
Go ahead, Beeb.
I'm gonna tell Kevin. How about that resume when he got knocked out by Ruiz? How about that?
Lucky shot. He had a nervous breakdown before the fight.
I'm gonna tell Kevin what I tell everybody.
Yeah, he got knocked out by Ruiz. Come on.
I'm gonna tell Kevin what I tell everybody. This is not the same division of the 90s when you had Holyfield, you had Lewis, you had Bo, you had Michael Moore, you had friggin' George Foreman, right? You had all those good fighters, right? You had Tommy Morrison. You had all those, Ray Mercer, right? David Izon, Chris Bird. It's not the same division. You had all those good fighters back then. Yeah. And then you had the Klitschko's were also in the 90s, right? So the 90s was the golden era of heavyweights. And you could say the 70s was too, with Ali and Frazier and Foreman and Norton and Corey and all those guys, right? But I think the 90s was even better because you had bigger guys that were very skillful and athletic as well. We don't have that now. We have Joshua, Fury, Wilder, and maybe Dillian White, and that's it. So it's not like when people want to sit there and talk about resumes.
Yep.
This division isn't what it once was. It's not a deep division anymore. Bucci, and David Tua, excellent. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Is he still in jail? Is Bucci still in jail?
He got out.
Did he?
Yeah, he's out.
Didn't he try to come back and fight, or he couldn't? There was something there.
Something happened, but he was.
Yeah, man, he was good back in the day.
Yeah,
he was a killer, man.
Back in the 90s or early 2000s, bro. The heavyweight division was great, bro. Great. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they're all juiced out of their minds.
We gonna pie bet what on this, Kevin?
He ain't gonna pie bet you.
He ain't gonna pie bet. Yeah, he ain't gonna pie. I don't blame him. You know, I won't go on camera.
What do you do? What do you want to do?
You go on camera.
What? About $5?
No, man. Let's do a pie bet.
$5 ain't worth it.
Let's do a pie bet, son.
$5 ain't worth the trouble.
Come on, listen, man. If I can be on camera, anybody can be on camera. Trust me.
No,
all
just
right?
do a $5 bet.
Radio here.
If you lose, I'll pay the $5 for you. Don't worry.
No, we're not gonna do a $5 bet, man. We're gonna do a pie bet. Everybody wants to see him get pied in the face.
He doesn't like to be on camera, Eric. Come on.
Why are you shaming him, man? Come on, stop.
I'm not shaming. I'm trying to protect him. He doesn't like to be on camera.
Protect him.
He doesn't like to be on camera. I don't want him. I don't want him to force him to do something.
How dare you?
I'm too opinionated to do that. I'll get canceled.
He's got a lot of people.
Get canceled.
He's got a lot of people looking for him. He doesn't want to get in trouble.
He's on the lam, son.
He's on a milk carton right now. If he shows his face, forget about it. He's in trouble.
Don't cancel me. I'll be canceled. But no, what I was getting to about Usyk is that win over Joyce is looking good. He's like fine wide. And you got to take into consideration the home field advantage that Joshua has. I mean, is that just some far-fetched idea that he's going to get the favorable scorecards, or what do you think?
No, I'm going to tell you something.
He gets murked, I'm telling you.
When Povetkin was fighting Joshua, I thought Povetkin was up on the card, but no judge
was up.
No judge had him up. So I
didn't think he was up. I thought he was beating Povetkin pretty easy.
Yeah, but your scorecards are always a little bit off.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, that's my point. And people are already saying, "Oh, you just got an excuse." Well, you already got an excuse ready. That's not excuses. Everybody knows this crooked judging in England favoring their hometown boys. So I speak facts. Back to it.
He's out of control, this kid. All right, Kevin.
Dale from Chi-Town.
Go grab your
Kevin.
Go grab your hot chocolate now, Kevin. It's okay.
All right, Kevin, we're gonna get rolling, man.
I just had some tacos. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
All right, man.
Give him a cookie and he'll go away.
Kevin from Chi-Town. Right, Beeb? Chi-Town. I got the lingo down now.
Chi-Town. There you go.
There it is. What else?
You gotta get out of the house more.
I do. You know, I've been watching that show, The Chi. I can say it now, The Chi. But I thought it was called The Chi.
Eric, come on. They specifically say it's The Chi.
Yeah, but I thought they were wrong. I got a degree. You know what I'm saying?
Chai
I just assumed I was right. You know,
chai is a drink.
Yeah, that's like that tea or something, right?
Well, evidently you don't have a degree in geography because you don't know how to pronounce these cities and states.
Why would I have a degree in geography to pronounce cities and states? I got to know where they are if it's geography.
But you also have to pronounce them too. Think about
it. I don't know. What am I doing? I got to go.
Me
and Beeb got stuff to do.
Point the things on the globe and not name them.
I usually have people do that for me.
Yeah, the little state with the hook on it.
The state with the hook on it?
Massachusetts.
Hey, guys, if you're not hitting the like button, please do so. That'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. Big stuff coming next week, so make sure you tune in. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at JHabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73. And guys, we're going to catch you next week. Go tune into the Boxing Voice. It's starting now. So we will catch you guys next week.